Do you think a Trump getting reelected, is that a good thing or a bad thing for the cryptocurrency world, or is it irrelevant?
It's irrelevant in a lot of ways because no government, as we've talked about, has the power to stop Bitcoin or any group of governments. You know, the question comes up, well, what if governments, outlaw Bitcoin? What happens then? Nothing, because the Bitcoin is unconfiscatable for one thing. It's uncensorable, and it's not going to be. Plus, all these government regulators and politicians are paid in fiat money, right? So, every revolution, what happens is the regulators and government officials end up becoming a fifth column, during the revolution, because they kind of sell out the revolution inside. And you're going to see that with any governments that try to go after Bitcoin. There's going to be plenty of people in that government who are going to be buying Bitcoin because they're being paid in fiat money, and the fiat money is collapsing. It's the story of the Roman Empire, right? They try to pay their soldiers in ever diminishing amounts of silver until the soldiers started, working with the Vandals and the barbarians. This is going to be the same story, because Bitcoin is hard money and fiat money is not hard money. So that's just not a threat. It's not an attack vector. It's not a threat vector. Plus, we now have plenty of Bitcoin billionaires and multi-billionaires who have tremendous lobbying influence in Washington.
Such as?
And, well, either direct billionaires or associated or affiliated with billionaires. So Peter Thiel, for example, is a billionaire. He's part of the PayPal mob, as they call it.
Mafia.
So he's got tremendous influence. At least I know he did a couple of years ago. I believe he still does. Then you have just a lot of other folks in that circle that have, billions of dollars, and they have the ability to change laws. America is kind of one of the cheapest countries in the world in terms of graft. You can get a law changed in America for $100,000. I wish our senators were more corrupt, and that it would cost more to change laws or to create new laws, to tell you the truth. But they seem to be open to pretty nickel and diming. You can get a law changed in a heartbeat. This is why, the financial sector, they overturned every single regulation since 1933, 1934, the Securities Act. Well, because you took a Series 7 exam.
Mm-hmm.
So those laws. Every single thing in the Securities Law Act of 33 and 34 has been overturned by lobbyists from Wall Street in Washington. So now none of those protections exist anymore. And we have the situation that we have now, that they just try to meet every single problem by printing money. The money's being debased. It's backed by nothing, or as Paul Krugman of the New York Times says, the U.S. dollar is backed by men with guns. Okay, great. Well, if you can't pay the men with guns anymore, what happens to your currency? It goes, hyperinflationary collapse to zero. This is the sad state of affairs. That fiat money is not going to breed a solid political economic class representing solid values that people are going to look up to. No, it's disintegrating before our eyes, Patrick. It's disintegrating before our eyes.
And I cannot believe the fact that people are okay with us constantly printing money, by the way. It's just pathetic to me that it just keeps happening over and over and over again. We keep talking about how quantitative easing is not the way to go, but we keep doing it over and over again the last, 15, 20 years.
Let me ask you a question. You're in the insurance business, okay? Mm-hmm. It all works on spreads.
Sure.
What if they go to negative interest rates? What happens to your industry?
You already know what happens to many insurance carriers. Many insurance carriers cannot be accepting more business if they go that route.
Okay. Well, why are they doing negative rates? Because they're bailing out corrupt banks.
No one's disputing that. It's pathetic.
Right. So why? Yeah. So I'm saying Bitcoin is get your 50,000 agents to start selling Bitcoin. Do your customers a favor. Turn it around. Let's turn it around, Patrick. I'm going to make you $1 billion. I've got two ways to make you $1 billion. Number one, put Bitcoin into the mix of products your agents are selling. Number one. Number two, I've got an idea for an insurance product that'll make you $1 billion. And I hope you remember me by giving me a commission when you cash that $1 billion check.